No more blue space on the New York Times needle. Oh my God. The needle is off the charts. Oh God. I mean, I guess there's like still hella people in here who like don't fully understand how the electoral college works or how projections work. So I suspect that it'll be that's the reason I suspect that people are just like still thinking like, oh yeah, there's an opportunity here. All I will say is this: if you're from a marginalized background, if you're a trans person, if you're a woman of color, if you're an undocumented migrant in the chat right now, and you're thinking like, "Holy fuck, are we absolutely cooked? What do we do?" These are the same exact questions that that people were thinking about in 2016 as well, and I think that Donald Trump is worse than he is in 2016 now because he's got like a vendetta. He's got even more vengeance. He's more vindictive. And overall, you just got to rely on your neighbors, rely on your friends, rely on people in your orbit to protect one another. You just got to look out for one another. Obviously, our institutions are failing us. I mean, that much is very clear. Our institutions are failing us. The Democratic Party has failed us once again. So there is not really much else I can say other than you just got to fucking hold steadfast to your opinion and not shy away from your moral compass and organize all the time, organize everywhere. And, you know, we'll all make it through. I hope, I think. Huh? My mom is asking from the other room, how will we have the Democratic Party hear our voice? That's a long-term problem. That's a long-term problem. That is one that requires, again, organizing. It requires a tremendous amount of organizing. We need labor unions to apply pressure. We need Sean Fain. We need that general strike that he's talking about, you know? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen without that. There needs to be a mechanism for pressure. And without any sort of mechanism for pressure, the Democratic Party will never do the right thing. That's very obvious. For a positive thought tonight, multiple states codified abortion rights and protections for trans people tonight, but it doesn't really matter because like the Republicans win and then they're just going to do whatever the fuck they want to do. The only positive aspect of those ballot measures is basically the reality that like Americans are not as reactionary as the party apparatus is. And I mean it. I mean it for the Democratic Party and I mean it for the Republican Party. Like there are plenty of fucking Republican Party voters who do not agree with everything that the Republicans are presenting or maybe have never really imagined what it would look like if those policies were implemented. Maybe at the most they're negligent, right? And that, especially in this very moment, obviously causes you to feel a lot of animosity. You're like, what the fuck do you mean they're just negligent? Like that's still indifference in the face of injustice means you're siding with the oppressor and you're actively you're actively pushing for the oppressor if you're voting for the Republicans. And I understand that. I do. But the point is, oh my God, look at these fucking idiots. It cope. The funniest part about this whole like people coming in here and being like cope, Trump W, like Trump won, baby. The funniest aspect of this is that like he's not gonna make anything happen for you. You know what I mean? You got no motion, big dog. You fucking suck. He is not going to help you out. And the only fucking shred of happiness that you can feel is that you're hypothesizing that like maybe some trans people get fucking dunked on. Maybe some like undocumented migrants will get deported, ripped away from their families. 1 in 15 people in this country live in a mixed status household. As in 1 in 15 people in this country live with an undocumented migrant. So you think that's going to be sick? If Donald Trump actually follows through on his deportation policies, you think they go in through your fucking neighborhood, BORTAC units, okay? roaming through the fucking streets looking for anybody that's like even slightly brown, doing dragnet operations, mass deportations, concentration camps. You're like, hell yeah, dude. 1938 Nazi Germany, that's my shit. That's what you're saying? You think that's going to make your life better? Do you even want that? I don't think most Republicans do want that. I don't think they do at all. That's precisely the reason why the same polls also show always that more people, when faced with the option of mass deportation or mass amnesty, choose mass amnesty every single time. 60% of the population want mass deportations. That's not being dramatic, by the way. A lot of people are saying like, oh, you're dramatizing or whatever. Okay? Do you feel disgusting comparing our situation to 1938 Germany? No, I don't. Are you fucking stupid? Donald Trump has said he's going to mass deport 20 million migrants. Adolf Hitler said he was going to mass deport Jews originally under the Madagascar plan. How do you think he arrived at the final solution? It wasn't the first solution. It was the final solution. We're there. We're there right now. The fuck do you mean? A lot of dumbasses say, hey, you cannot compare this to Nazi Germany. Why? Is it because he doesn't have a goofy mustache? Is that what it is? Is that what will do it for you? Is it because he doesn't have outward animosity towards Jews? He's not saying he wants to mass deport Jews. He just wants to mass deport like Guatemalans, Mexicans, and the like. Is that what it is? Because it's not like Adolf Hitler only killed Jews. What is it? Is it not a one-to-one because he doesn't speak German? Is that what it is? This argument never holds because you're basically simply saying, I don't want to hear it because you're making me reckon with this reality. The comparison hurts my feelings because I'm kind of on board with this shit. And I don't want to feel like I'm on board with Nazi shit. It's a very stupid argument because, like, why else would we learn about Nazi Germany and the Holocaust at school if it wasn't to never repeat the mistakes ever again? The entire purpose of learning about this shit is so that we can see it when it's happening and go, oh, I know what that is. I know what's happening. I've seen it. You're reaching 20 million people being mass deported. That's what Donald Trump is running on. Now, you might not believe he's going to follow through on it, but that's what he's running on. And if you voted for him, that's what you voted for. Okay? The fuck do you mean you're reaching? 20 million mass deportation. How do you do that? There is no way to do that other than concentration camps. And at a certain point, when you've already reached that point of dehumanization, when you put them in the fucking concentration camps, you're going to say, it's too expensive to deport them. Let's just kill them. They're dying in the camps anyway. That's it. That's a one-to-one. That's a 1-to-1 with Adolf Hitler. You might not like it, so maybe scratch the surface a little bit. Examine what makes you feel like Adolf Hitler is bad, but this policy is good. Obviously, you recognize that he's bad, but why do you think this policy is good? Scratch the surface and maybe you'll come to that conclusion. Maybe you'll recognize that, okay, it is. There are a lot of similarities here. And Republicans are supposed to be the conspiracy theorists? Dude, what is happening? Trump isn't Hitler, dude. For fuck's sake, what are you on, lol? Trump's mass deportation policies, okay? Trump's mass deportation policies. And before you say Obama deported millions as well and nobody called him Hitler, Obama's deportation policies were also fucking disgusting. You're in a community that is at least led by someone who doesn't agree with that shit at all. I don't agree with the Democratic Party's opinion on the border bill either. But you need to understand, Barack Obama's deportation policies were extraction at the border directly, okay? Border crossings, you get caught, you're being sent back. Donald Trump is taking it even one step further. I don't even agree with that. Donald Trump is taking it one step further. He's saying There are 20 million undocumented migrants living inside of the U.S. borders right now. Okay? 20 million. Now, number one, that number probably not correct. I believe the number is around 13 to 15 million. That's the estimate, at least the last time they... Fox is just called Pennsylvania. Donald Trump will probably be live in a little bit. Let's take a look, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll get back to the Hitlerian future in one moment. That's it. There it is.
That Grover Cleveland was not the subject of a Russia investigation, 2 impeachments, 2 assassination attempts.
Indictments.
They have indictments, 91 indictments, convictions, and there is almost nothing that hasn't been thrown at this former president. And his tenacity in wanting to go back and run again, which he announced immediately after he lost in 2020. This is a huge historic moment in the United States of America.